Am I audible
Yes, sir.
and clear?
Yes, sir.
Am I visible
Yes, sir.
also?
Yes, sir. Yes, you are visible, and sir, I have started the recording too.
Okay, fine. Great. Nice.
So,
Okay. Hope my screen is also visible,
Yes, sir.
right? Is my screen visible clearly?
Yes, sir. Visible, sir.
Okay, great, fine. So before we get into the third day's session, so what did we learn on the second day? Can someone brief me up?
Articles,
Okay, great, good.
modal verbs,
Modal verbs, nice.
forms of verbs,
Forms of verbs, good.
types of verb,
Types of verbs, right,
mm, kinds of verb,
right. Beautiful, beautiful.
parts of speech, sir.
Parts of speech, nice, great. Mangalaji. Who's that? Ashwini, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, which is the important parts of speech in English?
Verb,
Verb. So, beautiful. Right. What is it known as? What is verb known as for English?
heart and soul.
Huh? Heart and soul. Yeah, why are you hesitating to answer? Right?
Sir.
Okay, fine. Great. So, going forward, we'll be getting into this third days. So in the third day, what we are going to learn, I'll welcome you all for the third day of the writing skills. Okay. So in the writing skills, so far we learned articles, verbs, and parts of speeches. So today we will continue a bit more with the articles, and then we will understand what is the subject verb agreement, right? Which plays a very important role in framing of sentences, especially to understand the sentences that are in active voice and passive voice, and also the speeches, that is the direct speech and the indirect speech or the reported speech. And then finally, we will have a glimpse of tenses and aspects. What are the tenses that are there in English, and what are the aspects, and what are the simple formulas that we can learn to frame the sentences in these different tenses and aspects. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, good, great, fine. So, continuing with the rules of the articles, whatever we did the other day, when the article, definite article is to be used, or when the indefinite article is to be used, especially the rule is very much applicable for the definite article the, right? We cannot use the everywhere and for all the nouns. So, where we cannot use the articles, right? Like no article is to be used in generalizations when we are talking like I like music, apples are expensive. Okay, when we are already talking about a definite noun or a definite subject, then we should not use the articles because they are already definite. I like music. If you say I like the music, then you will have to specify which is that particular music that you like. So most of us do end up saying, I like the music very much. But which was that music? Or you are to be talking about a particular single music on which the debate or the discussion is going on, then you can say, I like the music. But in generic terms, when we say, you cannot say, I like the music. You should just, I like the music. I like music. So, where are the exceptions? I watch television, but I listen to the radio. Right? And I go to the cinema. It means when you are addressing to the first object, we are not using the article, the definite article, but in the continued form of the sentence, for the second and the successive subjects, we use the definite article the here. Right? That's how it goes. I watch television, but I listen to the music and I go to the movie or cinema. I don't play tennis, but I play the piano, the guitar, etc. Right? The simple rule here is key. If a sentence has multiple objects, then the first object is not going with the definite article, but the successive objects, we have to use the definite article the. Then no article should be used for any proper nouns. Any proper nouns. Whether it is the name of a person or a place, no article should be used. Like the India, the Pakistan, the Uttar Pradesh, the Bangalore, the Chennai. We cannot use that. But the exception here is if the same proper noun is in the plural form or okay, if it is in the plural form or if it is a united thing, then we must rather use the definite article the over here. Like the Andaman Islands. Mitali, can you please mute? Right? The United States, the Himalayas, and also if you are referring to any rivers or oceans or seas, then we must use the definite article the, like the Ganges, the Kaveri, the Indian Ocean, the Arabian Sea, etc., etc. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Then comes the subject-verb agreement. Okay, can anyone tell me what is that subject-verb agreement? What is that agreement? Any idea? Any ideas? No worries. What do you know about the subject-verb agreement? Yeah, tell me, Ashwini.
Don't know, sir.
Don't know. Okay. No one knows. It's very simple. Right? That means the subjects and the verbs must always agree with one another in number. That means it can be singular or plural. If the subject is singular, then the verb must also be singular. And if the subject is plural, then the verb must also be in the plural. So, how to identify it is whether it is a singular verb or a plural verb? Very simple. When we make plurals out of noun, we add s to it. No, like dog means dogs, cat cats. That way, if it is a man, men, woman, women, this way. So in the same way, what happens here is s is added to the singular verb. If you have to make the verb in singular format, then yes is as. Okay. So for example, if we say go, it will become as goes, come comes, write writes, speak speaks, this way. So when we add yes and it looks like in the form of plural, then that verb is in singular. So why this agreement should be there? If that agreement is not there, then the sentence will not be balanced. Okay, I'll just give you an example. The cat is reading the book. Will it be okay? Is that sentence correct? The cat is reading the book. How many of you say this sentence is wrong or right? Hello? Mitali, can you please mute?
I'm so sorry, sir. I forgot to mute. Okay.
Yeah,
Please
please,
continue.
please. Yeah. Thank you. Hello? Are you all there?
Yes, sir.
Then why are you not answering? Is that sentence correct or wrong? The cats are reading the book.
Sir, once again repeat the sentence.
The cats are reading the book.
Right, sir.
Is the sentence right?
Yes, sir.
Logically?
Logically, no.
Right? Though grammatically the sentence says it is right,
Yes, sir.
but logically it's wrong because the subject and the verb, they are not agreeing. Can the cat read the book? Hello? Why are you people not responding? Please unmute yourself. Unmute and speak.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what about others? Mangala, Shanta, and others. Hello. Are you all there or not?
Sir, it's up, sir.
Okay, then why are you not responding? Why all of you are silent? Unmute yourself. Please come on the camera. Yes. Tell me, Mangala.
Yes, sir.
Will there be an agreement between the subject, that is the cat, and the verb read? Can cat read and write?
No, sir.
No. Right? That's where the subject and the verb are not agreeing. The function of the doer and the function of the verb are not agreeing with one another. Right? That's what is known as the subject verb agreement. At the same time, we say Phil is playing with a ball and Phil are playing with a ball. So why the second one is wrong or incorrect? The first one is correct. The first one says Phil is playing with the ball. The second sentence says Phil are playing with the ball. Why the second one is incorrect?
Phil is the person name, sir.
Yes. Good. Correct.
Only single person.
Yes. He is a single person. So the verb which is used here should be used for the plural, or is a supporting verb which should be used for the plurals, right? Whereas Phil is a singular person. Okay? That is the reason this sentence is wrong. That means there is no agreement between the subject and the verb. Then, what are the tenses? What do you understand by tense in English? Any idea? What does tense means? If you are not answering back, if you are not interacting,
It is
how will I
used
know
for
that you people are listening to me or not? Leave alone whether you people are learning or not. How will I come to know that you people are physically there in the class or not? Okay, I can understand that you may not be able to come onto the camera, but at least you people can speak. Is there anyone stopping you from speaking? Great. I understand this. Okay. Tense in English means the time. So in any language, a sentence is written or spoken with concern to a time at which instance the action is taking place or the action is going to happen or the action has happened. When did the action take place? That instance is known as the tense, means that time. So based on this timeline, the tenses are of three types. The one is the present tense. That means the action which is currently going on. The action which is currently going on. Now, all of you are attending the class? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yes. No. So this is the present tense. The action that is taking place instantly. That is present tense. Then the past tense means the action which has already happened or which has already taken place. An hour ago, what all you did, it becomes a past tense. In the morning, what the breakfast you had, or in the afternoon, what the lunch you had, that becomes a past tense. Now at present, what you are doing, sipping a cup of tea, becomes the present tense. Attending the class becomes the present tense. Is it getting clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great, fine. Then the third one is the future tense. The third one is the future tense. Future tense is all about the action that is yet to happen or is about to happen or going to happen. That which has not all happened at all. After the classes are over at 6:30, what you all would be doing, it becomes the future tense. What time you attend your college tomorrow becomes the future tense. What dress you are going to wear tomorrow, that becomes the future tense. The action which has not yet happened. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great, fine. Then the aspects. What are the aspects in English? If we talk about the aspects, there are 4 aspects in English. Those 4 aspects are the simple, continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous. Right? The first one, foremost one is the simple tense. Then the continuous tense. Third is the perfect tense. And fourth is perfect continuous tense. So, here, when we are framing the sentences in these 4 aspects, the forms of the verb plays the very major role. That is V1, V2, V3 and V4. That is simple present, simple past, participle and continuous form. That is V1, V2, V3 and V4 forms of the verb plays a very major role when we make or frame the sentences in these 4 aspects. So, in all, what happens is that 4 aspects and 3 tenses, when each aspect is applicable to each tense, means all these 4 aspects are applicable to each of the tenses, that is present tense, past tense and the future tense. So, in all, it becomes 12 aspectual forms. Whenever we make the sentences, we make sentences in these 12 different aspects. Then, what is the hack between tense and aspects, or what is the tip that we can understand is that, as I said earlier, the tense denotes the time when an action is taking place, or it denotes the time of the action, and the aspect determines whether that particular action is an ongoing one or completed. So action can be of the following four types. That could be continuous, that is ongoing. That means where the action has begun but not ended or not completed. Then the perfect. Perfect means where the action is completely done or completely over, which is completed at that time of instance. That's what the perfect means. If it is in the present, if you are mentioning the time of the present, then that becomes the present perfect. If that time of action refers to the past time when that action was completed, then it becomes the past perfect. And if the same time is referring to the upcoming time or the future time where one expects to complete the task or the action, that becomes the future perfect. So, how these tenses are made, or how can we sentences are made in each aspect of each tense? Am I clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So far, no doubt. Right. So in a simple present tense, if we say how the sentence will be, I study English every day. In the present tense, if we are making the sentence in the simple aspect, the sentence would be I study English every day. So here, the point that needs to be observed whenever we are making a tense in the simple aspect, no auxiliary verbs are used. Just keep it in mind that if one is making or one is framing a sentence in a simple format or in the simple aspect, then no auxiliary verbs are used to connect the subject and the verb. If it is the simple present, you can see directly this formation of the sentence is in the SVO order. That is subject, verb, object order. You see, I is the subject, study is the verb, and English is the object. I study English. So what happens here is that there is no auxiliary verbs, no is, am, are, was, were, have, has, had, nothing is used in between the subject and the verb. Then the simple past. Same here. And here the form of the verb in the simple present, it would be in the V1 form. There is the first form of the verb. It will be in V1 form. Okay, we had talked about the subject verb agreement a couple of minutes ago. Can someone tell me why it is not I studies English here? It is written I study English. I is singular. Why it is not I studies English? Instead it is I study English. Can someone tell me?
I is first person.
Okay. So what does the subject verb agreement tells? Very right, Mangala, what you said. The answer is perfectly right. You have nailed it, in fact. I is first person singular. But why it is not studies? Or when do we use studies?
In continuous.
In continuous. Here, just below that, there is continuous also. No? I am studying. Here also it is not studies. Nowhere in these examples you can see the word studies or goes. Any word? Is there any verb like that? In the entire screen you find it?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, no? Great, beautiful. But why? It is not studies but only study here. Any idea? Any thought?
We use studies for a third person, sir, like he, she.
Okay, very good, Mangala. Great, beautiful. You have given the right answer. Whenever the subject is an independent singular noun, whenever the subject is an independent singular noun, like a dog, a cat, a man, or if it is a third person singular. I hope all of you know what is first person, second person, and third person. The singular form in the third person, that is he, she, and it. If these are the subject, the sentence is made in the simple present tense aspect. If the sentence is framed in the simple present tense aspect, then to make the agreement between the subject and the verb becomes singular. That means it becomes studies, goes, works, eats, sleeps, walks, runs, etc. Otherwise, if the subject is a plural or singular in the first and the second person, if the subject is a plural or singular in first or the second person, then there is no change to the verb. Right? So, to make a simple present tense, the formula goes this way. Very simple. Subject, that is a noun or a pronoun, plus the verb in the V1 form. Verb in the first form, that is V1 form, and the object that is again a noun or a pronoun. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. When we get into the same thing, present tense, very simple aspect, and we are getting into the past tense. That means simple past tense. Rest of the conditions will be the same as that we talked about for the simple present tense, but only the form of the verb will change. So here, the form of the verb will be V2 or it will be in the second form. I studied English in England. Here you could see study, that is V1. So the study V1 has become studied. Can someone tell me whether study is a regular verb or an irregular verb? Can you identify this? Whether study is a regular or an irregular verb?
Regular.
Is a regular verb. Why? How
Yes.
can you tell that it is a regular verb? Shanta, can you tell me why it is a regular verb? Are you there, Shanta? Yes, Mitali, please.
So, sir, the reason behind it is as a regular verb is that its forms changes according to the verbs. Okay, V1 form is study, second V2 form is studied, third
Yeah.
would be studied only, and V1 plus ing will be studying. But
Yes.
wherein in case of irregular verbs, the forms will be constant. Those
Yeah.
forms will be same for all of in every case.
No, it will not be the first thing what you said is right, because here the V2 and V3 form are the same. Right? Here we have added ed over here. I told you the other day that in the regular verb, if we have to convert that into a past tense, and to convert them into the past tense, if it is added with d or ed, and both V2 and V3, if V2 and V3 are the same, then it will be a regular verb.
Okay.
Or if there is no change at all in any of the forms, V1, V2 or V3, if all remains same, like I had given the examples saying cut, put, shut, etc. Right? They never change. Even for V1 it will be cut, V2 is also cut, and V3 is also cut in the same way, shut and put. So these are the regular verbs. The irregular verbs are those where all the three forms will be entirely different, or any of the two forms will be different. That means V1, V2 and V3, all the three are totally different. Like I gave the example of word go, right?
Go and gone.
Go, went, gone. All the three words are different, entirely different,
Yes.
right? If it is the verb is to be read, then V1, V2, V3, we read it as read, read, read.
Right.
Even though the spelling is the same, but the pronunciation differs.
Right.
If it is same with come, if you take the word come, V1 and V2 are different, entirely different. Come, V2 becomes came. And again, V3 it is come only. That means V1 and V3 are the same.
Yes, sir.
Right? Here both V2 and V3 are not the same, but V1 and V3 are the same. If it goes to, you say got, get. Either it can be get, got, gotten, or it can be get. V2 and V3 can be the same, or all the three can be different. So then it becomes an irregular verb. Is that clear to all?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, getting into simple future tense, how a sentence is framed. Now I have made a mistake. Can all of you read my screen? Is it readable? Is it visible clearly?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So there is an error. I have intentionally made it in the example. Can any of you identify the error in the simple future tense?
If uh,
Yes, Mitali.
if you are having problems,
Yeah.
I will help you study English.
Yes.
So if you have problem, I will
Hmm.
help you study English. I guess
Well,
that's the error.
okay. Anybody else? In the first sentence, I am talking in both the things, right? In the first sentence, you can see my cursor here. If you are having problems, I will help you study English.
Mangala, were you saying something?
Yes, Mangala? Mangala, Ashwini, Shanta, any one of you? What could be the mistake that I have done here? Oh, yes, ma'am. Jessie, ma'am, please.
The use of future tense be should be there. I will be
I
helping
will,
you.
okay.
So that
I
can be
will be
used.
helping you.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Anything else you find in this
Yeah.
particular sentence?
Yeah. We can.
Where, though it seems correct, there is a grammatically verb subject agreement is not there. Subject verb agreement is not there. You cannot change the form of the sentence. The sentence remains the same.
If clause is not actually used.
Pardon me, ma'am? If clause is
yes.
not actually used. Okay.
Yeah. So that is why we find it that it is a simple future. We make a I mean, that particular sentence is a mistake one, we can say.
Okay. Okay. Great. Anybody else from amongst others? What did I first tell when I taught you about the modal verbs the other day? when should we will use and when the shall should be used for making the future tense. Right? I had told you, most of you have not taken it that much seriously. Will cannot be used with first person. Will cannot be used with first person for making a future tense. Otherwise, it becomes a confirmatory sentence. The modal verb that should be used here is shall. If you are having problems, I shall help you study English. But I also told you one more thing. In today's genre, shall is getting obsolete. The usage of shall is becoming obsolete. Instead, will is being used in the colloquial language, in the speaking language. But still, if you are writing any competitive exams, let it not be IELTS or TOEFL or PT, even any other competitive exams in the verbal aptitude part, if you are writing an exam for IAS or IPS or any other UPSC exam or any other your state service commission exams or even the banking exam, or if you are a journalist and if you are writing a column in a newspaper or in a magazine, then this is not accepted. Then this becomes a wrong sentence. Even why in the speaking skills, especially in IELTS, TOEFL, especially in PTE, if anyone of you are willing to go to Australia or Russia or Canada and you want to use the English over there, you have to take up the PTE exam, right? That is the Proficiency Test of English Language, PTE. That is the hardest English exam that one finds it. Lighter than that is TOEFL and lighter than that is the TOEFL, IELTS. So if the subject is a first person singular or plural in the future tense, then the auxiliary verb that is used here should be, that is the modal verb, should be shall, it should not be will. I have intentionally made this mistake to remind the participants to understand the usage of will. That day I told you, whenever we make any promissory notes, or that is why when in the movies and all you could have seen, even the real life also it happens. People make will. They write will and keep it in the bank about their properties or about their belongings, what they want to share with their children, how much percentage and what all those properties, all these things. They make a will out of it. That means it is a promissory note where if you use I will with the first person, it becomes a promissory note. Suppose if you say someone that I will pay you 1 lakh rupees on 31st of July, that becomes a promissory note. You will have to make the payment, failing which you can be dragged to the court. Right? So if you have to make the same thing in the future tense, then it should be I shall pay you 1 lakh rupees on 31st July. So when it is I shall pay you, that is why the future tense is not a guaranteed one. Only past and present, where the actions are confirmed. But for future tense, the action can never be confirmed until and unless it takes place. If he doesn't understand this, both in writing as well as in speaking skills, we are going to lose the bands. Even in the speaking skills, when the interviewer asks you the question, if you say, I will, there only they find the mistake. They will drop down your band. So that is the importance of modal verb will and shall when it comes to future tense. Is it clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So be aware whenever you write, even when you write an email to, you get into a corporate job, you are writing an email and you are addressing something in the first person. The moment you make it as will for the future tense, that mail will be considered again as a promissory note. That mail can drag you to the court if any dispute arises. That is why most of you students, because you are all students, you won't have come across, when you go to any MOU, when you sign any MOU, that is Memorandum of Understanding, or any agreement of a house agreement, for rent agreement, or any other things, there they will never mention will. Instead, they will mention shall. Because the possibilities. They will not mention the confirmation, only they mention the possibilities, so that both the parties would be safe. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So if you want to note down the formula for simple past, it goes as subject, that is noun or pronoun, plus the verb, that is in the V2 form, plus the object, again a noun or a pronoun. And when it comes to simple future tense, it will be in the formula would be the subject, that is the noun or pronoun, plus the modal verb, either will or shall. Modal verb will or shall, depending on the subject, plus the action verb in V1 form again. It is not V3, it will be in V1 form only. Plus the object, again, is noun or a pronoun. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Could you all understand how the framing of sentence in each aspect of a tense is made? Have you noted down the formulas?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So once you note down the formula, it will become easy for you to frame the sentence. Okay, then coming to present continuous, that is the continuous aspect. Second aspect in the first tense, that is the present tense. Study plus ing, that will become as studying. I told you in the continuous tense, V4 form, that is continuous form, or the ing form should be used with the verb. Hence, study will become studying, and to make the agreement between the subject and the verb, the auxiliary verb, either am or is or are used in the present tense. If it is I singular, so I am studying. If it were to be we, it would be we are studying. If it were to be he, then it could have been he is studying. So very simple to understand. If a verb follows any of these auxiliary verbs, that is, am, are, was, were, or be or been, then automatically you understand that the action verb should be in the ing form. Very simple. If a verb, that is the action verb, is following any auxiliary verbs such as is, am, are, was, were, or be or been, then it will be in the ing form. Very simple. So the formula goes this way. Subject, that is the noun or pronoun, plus the auxiliary verb am, is, or are. You can write it as am slash or slash is, plus the verb in V4 form, that is ing form, plus the object. That's what this formula for present continuous tense. When it comes to past continuous tense, am is replaced by the verb, the auxiliary verb in the past tense, that is was. I was studying English. I was studying English. Further part of the sentence is given to make you understand. To make you understand that the sentence is in past tense. To simply when you called yesterday. So I was studying English. So here the formula would be the same. Instead of auxiliary verb am, are, or is, here it would be was or were. That means subject, that is noun or pronoun, plus auxiliary verb was slash were, plus the verb in ing form, and plus the object, that is noun or pronoun again. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Great. Now, when it comes to the future tense, again, here I intentionally has written to make you guys understand the importance of shall when it comes to writing in the future tense. I shall be studying English when you arrive tonight. Or I shall be studying English tonight. You can just write, I shall be studying English tonight. So here the formula will be subject, that is a noun or pronoun, plus the modal verb will slash shall depending on the subject, plus the be verb, that is BEB, plus the verb in V4 form or the ing form, plus the object, either it can be a noun or a pronoun. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Great. Then, present perfect. That means now we are getting into the third aspect, that is the perfect aspect of each tense. So when we get into the third aspect, perfect, the auxiliary verbs have, has, or had will be used in the perfect tense. If it is a present tense, either it can be have or has is used. Right? If it is a present perfect tense, either have or has can be used. Can anyone tell me when will be the verb has used?
Third person, sir.
Exactly. Beautiful. Right answer. Very perfect answer. If the subject is a third person singular, if the subject is a third person singular or any singular independent noun, like a dog, a cat, a man, a boy, a girl, a student, or Mangala, or Nandu, whatsoever. If the subject is an independent singular noun or the singular third person pronoun, that is he, she, or it, then only has is used. The two only in the present perfect tense, nowhere else. Then the verb will be in the V3 form. It is not V2 form. It will be in the V3 form, that is the participle form. That's why I said it, because study is a regular verb. Study, studied, studied. So this is in the V3 form. If instead of study, if it were to have been go, then here it should have been I have. So how do you identify? I have gone to the market. Most of us do the wrong conception here or get into the wrong conception is that comes to the irregular forms same. If the same verb is to be come, I have come to your house. What are you going to give me? I have come to you. He had come to my house. So you have to identify whether the sentence is in the present tense or the past tense with respect to the auxiliary verb, whether it is have or has is used or had is used. So I have studied English in several different countries. Okay. Again, I have done a mistake here, intentional mistake, to make the participants understand the error, how the errors are found in a sentence. Can someone tell me what is the error here in this sentence? I have studied English in several different countries. Can someone tell me? This is a very important thing one has to understand when it comes to verbal aptitude. If you are taking any GRE, especially, or MAT exams, the verbal aptitude part.
Have, sir.
Pardon me, Kanna? Be loud.
Have, sir.
Have.
Yes, sir.
Have is correct because it is a perfect tense. For perfect tense, I'll let you know the formula later. Just find the error in the sentence.
I have been.
Then it would become the continuous tense. Present perfect continuous tense. You can see that in the below example. Can you see that, beta? I have been studying.
Yes, sir.
So what is the thing error here? Yes, Shanta, you are trying to say something, beta. Come on, tell.
Sir, that can be used in countries, sir.
Da should be used in countries, in different the countries you want to say, or several the different in the several different countries. Then you are bringing in more errors into the sentence. This is where the aptitude test is very difficult when you crack, if you have to crack any MAT exams or any competitive exams. Right? My dear friends, here the error is very simple. If I tell you that, then all of you say that this sir has gone mad. You see, what is the meaning of several?
Many.
So then different. When you say many, that means you are going to different countries only. That is not one particular country, isn't it?
Yes,
You
sir.
are using both the same context words here, several as well as different. If the sentence has to be correct, then it should have been, I have studied English in different countries, or it can be, I have studied English in several countries. It will be like, I'll be returning back in the night. Again, that is a wrong sentence. I'll be returning back. What is returning? That is coming back is what is returning, right? Can you give me your pen? I will return it back in 5 minutes. Both return and back gives the same context of meaning that should not be used. Whenever you keep it in mind that whenever we are framing a sentence, we should not use the words that gives the same context. Is it clear now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Jessie, ma'am, please.
So such kind of words are known as redundancy.
Redundant words. Yeah. I didn't want to make the children get into more puzzled way when I use sophisticated words. Right? So these are called as redundant words. You see how much help even your Jessie ma'am is making you all to understand. You see, these are all the sophisticated words. If you note it down, my dear kiddos, I am telling you, whether what Jessie ma'am is saying or I am giving you certain sophisticated words, if you note it down and use them in your regular day-to-day conversations, you are certainly going to add a lot of verbatims into the dictionary of your brain. That's where you can make the or frame the sentences in many different ways. Note down these words. And none of you are following my first day's advice. I can be assured of that. Can someone tell me what was my first day's advice? Mangala. I cannot listen.
Different words.
But Ashwini, tell me, Kana.
Yes, sir. 3 different words, sir.
Three new words. I didn't say 3 different words. 3 new words
Yes, sir.
every day. Right? And one
phrase, sir.
phrase. How many of you are following that instruction? Okay, fine. Let us go ahead. Then comes the formula for the present perfect tense would be subject, that is noun or pronoun, plus the auxiliary verb have or has, depending on the subject. Then the verb, that is in the V3 form, plus the object plus the object. Then when we get into the past perfect tense, the formula would be the same as for the present perfect tense, excepting for the auxiliary verb. Instead of have or has, we make use of had. We make use of had. I had studied a little English before I moved to India, or before I moved to the United States, before I moved to the United Kingdom, the UK. The same thing when we get into the future tense, that is the future perfect tense. So again, the same thing I have made here intentionally, right? What is the mistake I have done again here intentionally? In the future perfect tense? Any one of you, other than Jessie ma'am, any one of you students, my dear friends, in the future, I have made the mistake very intentionally, so that the participants very clearly understand why is that so. Yes, Mangala, you are right. You're absolutely right, right? You did really rock here now. Shall. Instead of will, I should have been using the word shall here. Here in the future perfect continuous, also the same thing. This is the mistake every participant should observe and find out. Okay? I shall have studied every tense by the time I finish this course. So what will happen? Here, the modal verb will or shall will follow the subject before the auxiliary verb have or have. Before the auxiliary verb have. In the future tense, no use of has is made, only have is made use of. Is that correct? So the formula for this goes this way. subject, that is the noun or pronoun, and the modal verb will or shall, depending on the subject, plus the auxiliary verb have, plus the verb in V3 form again. It will not become I will have study because it is a future tense. No, my dear. It will be in the V3 form. That is why it is studied. Just understand this. Verb in V3 form plus the object, that is again a noun or a pronoun, and plus one more thing is added here for future perfect tense. Can anyone tell me what is the additional component here? Just think out of the box and let me know. What is that additional component here in this sentence, in the future perfect? Pardon me, somebody is saying something. Can you be a bit loud, beta? I didn't get, who was that speaking? Pooja? Is it you, Pooja?
No, sir.
Okay, who spoke something? Don't hesitate. Don't fear. Give the answer. Let it be wrong. No worries at all. You should not be worried whether the answer is right or wrong.
By the time.
Yeah, by the time I finish this course. Okay, right, great. What is that extra component added here? Subject is there, modal verb is there, right? And then the auxiliary verb is also there. Then the action verb is also there. And what is the next?
Preposition.
Preposition is a different thing, Mangala. What is the one additional thing you find in this? That is called as the time frame. You see, by the time I finish this course, here a time frame is quoted. Always, whenever we make a sentence in the future perfect tense, along with the subject, the modal verb plus the auxiliary verb plus the action verb in V3 form, the fifth component, that would be object, that is noun or pronoun. Then the sixth component that is added here is the time frame. I will have studied or I will have completed my MS by the time you reach to US and take up your course. I will have finished my dinner before you come. So a time frame is to be mentioned here. That is the additional component. One, we have to recognize, we should not miss that whenever we are making a sentence in the future perfect tense. But not to worry, not to scratch your head for this. And then the present perfect continuous tense. So here, again, the additional component that is used here is the be verb, that is been. Okay, if it is a present perfect tense, I have been studying English for the last 5 years. That is subject plus the auxiliary verb plus the be verb been plus verb in V3 form plus object plus the time frame. In the past perfect tense, same formula holds good as that of present perfect tense, excepting for the auxiliary verb. Instead of have, it will be had. It would be had. I had been studying English while I was in the Oxford University. So here while represents the time frame. While I was, during I was, when I was. So that tells us about the time frame. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Then the future perfect continuous. I will have been studying English for nearly a year by the time you join my university. Same formula holds good. What is there for future perfect, excepting one addition and one change, that is be verb been is added, that is subject plus modal verb plus the be verb been. The change here would be of the verb. Instead of V3, we would be using V4 here again. Studying. So that is the reason ing form or V4 is called as the common form, because it is used in 6 aspects. That is past, present continuous, past continuous, future continuous, then present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous, and future perfect continuous. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Sir.
Any doubts? No doubts. So, this is what is all about. And tomorrow we would be taking up the real writing task. How to write an essay, or how to write a letter, or how we can write a short essay of 150 words on the given pictorial or a given graph. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
How many of you can write an essay? That is task 2. If I give you a topic, or if I give you a situation, or you want me to take you through once how to write an essay, both the tasks, task 1 and task 2, and then you want to write. How do you want to do it? I have briefed you what is task 1 and what is task 2, what should be written and how should be written. How many of you are ready to write? Hello, my dear friends. How many of you are ready to write? Or you want me to take you through once with each example for each category of writing? And then you will do it as an assignment. How do you want to go? Hello. Hey, none of you are talking.
Guys, are you there?
Hello, my dear friends. Shanta left. The moment we ask the question, Shanta is gayab. Ashwini, Mangala, Nandu, Pooja, Neha. Oh, today one more addition. Neha Mahi. Are you there? Am I audible to you? Neha? Okay, fine. If no response from your end, please go through the chat box. You would have been finding the feedback form. Just fill in the attendance feedback form. Have you posted it? I think, yeah, it has been posted. Please fill in your feedback attendance form and we can leave.
Those who have filled the feedback form, please make sure that you will be putting down in the chat box as well that you have filled it.
How many of you have filled?
Now doing, sir.
Okay, great,
Three.
Ashwini. Perfect. Yes, Nandu, Nandita has raised the hand. Yes, Nandu. Please. Okay, Mangala is done. Yes, Nandu. Please unmute yourself. And Pooja is also done. Great. Nandu, Nandita are done. Okay. Yes, Nandu, you have raised your hand. Please tell me what you want to know or what you want to ask or what you want to tell.
No, sir.
No, nothing.
Maybe she has raised it in the context of telling
Okay.
that she has filled the form.
She has filled up the form. Okay, great.
Shantala?
Nice. Shanta has joined back. Pooja,
Sir?
okay, any doubt?
No, sir.
Everything is clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you are ready to write the essay. I'll give you an assignment today itself to write an essay.
Sir, starting I am not attended.
Starting, you are not attended. Okay, no issues. Tomorrow we will learn how to write task 1, right? And task 2.
Okay.
Even I think Ashwini has done. Post that you will be able to write better. Once I take you through write on and task, will you be able to write the essay completely?
Yes.
Very good, beta. I love your confidence. Great.
Thank you.
Ashwini, can you write?
Yes, sir.
Hello, Ashwini.
Sir, I had network.
Okay, you have. Okay, I am asking. You can listen me. You can hear me.
What it? Why it is breaking, sir?
But my voice is breaking. Is that so to all? Or am I
No.
clear?
You're clear.
Great.
Maybe she is having some network issues.
Some bandwidth issue might be there. Yes, Mangala, you are right. Some network issue might be there. Okay, who is ready to write the essay if I give the assignment now? Please raise your hand. 2 plus 3, 5 of you. Who is ready to write an essay on a topic or on a situation if I give now the assignment? Okay, how many of you say that, yes, sir, we will give you a try? Pooja and Mangala and one more. That is Ashwini. Wow. All the three have raised the hand. Okay. You three will give a try for it. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Beautiful. Beautiful, my dear kiddos. Right? Okay. However, I am not going to bother you tonight because I think Mitali has already posted an assignment on the
Yes.
Google Classroom. Just go through the Google Classroom and complete that assignment. I will not trouble you much, but I will trouble you tomorrow post the class. Right? Tomorrow you will get not one assignment, you will be getting couple of assignments. Okay? So I hope everyone has given the feedback and the attendance, has filled the attendance feedback form. Right? Okay, shall we call it a day then?
We are good to go, sir.
Good to go. Jessie
Ashwini
ma'am.
might be having any question. She has raised her hand.
Okay, Ashwini, yes. Ashwini, do you have any question? No, sir. Okay, she said ready to go. Get set, go. Right? My mic is not working. No, okay, beta. No issues. Fine. Jessie ma'am, you want to say something or ask something?
Nothing today, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, then. Kiddos, thank you so much. We'll meet all tomorrow again to understand how we start writing the task 1 and task 2 later on. Okay? Fine. Okay. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone. Good day, good
Ashwini,
evening,
please
and
fill
good
the
night.
feedback form.
Ashwini, have you not filled the feedback form?
Done,
Done, sir.
Done. She's saying done.
done.
Yeah. Okay, fine. Great. Okay, then. We will take leave of.
Sir, can
Bye-bye.
we this
Pooja,
class sir?
Pooja, yes, tell me, Kana.
Sir, this class can get. No, sir.
I'm not able to hear you. Can you please text? Because I think you're also having the bandwidth issue. Can you please text your question, Kana? Can you please type your question in the message box or the text box? Pooja, can you do that?
Sir,
Okay, can we get recording of this class, sir? Sure, you will get the recording, but not immediately. At the end, all the recordings will be given to you so that you can go through the recordings and practice on your own as well. Is that okay? Great. Fine. Any other questions for any of you? Everyone is saying, okay, sir, okay, Mangalaji. Great. Nice. Okay, then bye-bye. Bye, Mitali.
Bye-bye, sir. Thank you so very much, girls. And one more thing, before leaving the meeting, we will be having session tomorrow as well at the same time as we didn't had session yesterday. Okay, so make sure that you'll be joining at the same time tomorrow.
Okay, ma'am.
We'll be posting the link in the Google Classroom as well.
Great.
Okay, ma'am.
Fine.
Thank
Okay,
you
bye.
very much. Have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye,
Take
everyone.
care of yourselves.
Stay safe.
Yeah.
Bye.